Well, holy smokes, everyone, it is official. Trump has announced a strategic crypto reserve. So we're going to go over this breaking news, what's happening with cryptocurrency, and many people are now starting to say, could this lead to an executive order on putting the US dollar back on the gold standard? We're also going to go over in today's video what's really happening with gold. There is a gold rush happening right now from London to New York. A lot of these big central banks are playing games with the gold. Everybody wants gold right now. That's why the price is surging, but where really is it? Because people, what you have to know is fiat currency is dying. Fiat currencies around the world are becoming worthless. That's why we're still seeing inflation go up crazy, even though the government does not want you to really know it. Your precious dollars that you're working so hard to earn are being devalued so it can reach those that hold real wealth, and that is gold and silver, and also other assets like Bitcoin, whether you like it or not, and land and real estate. So everyone, we've got so much to cover in today's video, so let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the news, the facts, and the data. Okay, everyone, first things first, this happened just hours ago. Trump announced strategic crypto reserves, including Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, and more, like Cardano. But many people aren't aware of what this could lead to down the road. So Trump is hosting the first White House Crypto Summit on Friday, and investors will be watching closely for more clues about the direction of the reserve plans. This is the first time Trump has specified his support for a crypto reserve versus a stockpile, which he announced he was going to do during the 2024 Bitcoin summit. While the former assumes actively buying crypto in regular instruments, a stockpile would simply not sell any of the crypto currently held by the US government. Now, obviously on this news, crypto prices absolutely skyrocketed. We can see here on CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin surged 9%, Ethereum up 13%, XRP 31%, Solana 22%, and Cardano actually went up the most, which is a project I've been interested in since about 2016, but I'm not currently investing in it at the moment because I still do think we're going to head into a bear market in the middle of this year, but we're still going to have a lot of volatility. This is crypto, everyone, where you can have 50% rises and crashes in the same day. So obviously this is very positive news for crypto. Now, the industry had a lukewarm response to the language in part because investors expected a focus on Bitcoin, whereas the term digital asset suggested the stockpile could include other cryptocurrencies without giving specifics. Now, this is where things could go a little wrong with this, or potentially. If they just say digital assets, well, what happens if the US government all of a sudden creates a US government meme coin like Donald Trump? Or what happens if Donald Trump then got them to use his meme coin as a crypto strategic reserve? This is where the law or the executive order could be interpreted different ways and could be the first steps leading us to a central bank digital currency. So Donald Trump said a US crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, Sol, and ADA. That's Cardano. He said in a post on Truth Social, and I'll make sure the US is the crypto capital of the world. So if he does do this, does make it the crypto capital of the world, it could potentially create a lot of jobs and bring in a lot of revenue, but it's still so new, we only have to wait and see what's really going to happen. He then had to follow up this Truth Social post and said, obviously BTC, that's Bitcoin, and ETH, that's Ethereum, as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be at the heart of the reserve, he said in a follow-up post. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. So ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, we are living in very, very interesting times, and we are living in times that's going to change the course of human history. For many of my viewers watching this, you may have been alive when they went off the gold standard. Then you saw how much inflation they had in the 80s and the 90s. You've seen how much the dollar has been devalued. You've seen the rise of digital banking, and now we're heading into a new era of digital money. So what is this all leading to? Well, this is leading to a full-on panic. People are fighting hand over fist to get what is called real wealth, real money, and that is gold and silver. And right now, there is a gold rush from London to New York to get this physical gold and silver, because throughout history, every empire that has risen or fallen has always been because They've either gotten so much debt or they diluted their own currency like the Romans did. So we're going to dive deep in this report. This was very, very fascinating. That goes in depth what's really happening behind the scenes with these central banks, with these gold vaults, and what's driving the gold rush from London to New York. So it says here, for centuries, gold has been the go-to haven asset in times of political and economic uncertainty, which we definitely have now. The fact that it's tangible, something you can hold in your hand, gives people a sense of safety and represents a store of value when everything else is in turmoil. Again, this is happening now with everything going digital, when in the future maybe governments can shut off or close your online digital access to your bank or to your money. People want to be able to really hold wealth in their hand. Investors have sought refuge in bullion amid mounting concerns over Donald Trump's disruptive trade and geopolitical agendas. And the price of gold has hit series of record highs in 2025, extending a ferocious run from last year. But it's not just the trade wars that's going on, everyone. People know their currency is being devalued and that governments are going bankrupt. So US prices have surged even higher, building a premium over international benchmarks on fears that gold could immediately be included in Trump's tariffs on imported goods. So precious metals have been yet to be targeted specifically, but dealers are worried they could be swept up in the broad levies Trump has announced and threatened. This has spurred a transatlantic gold rush as the yellow metal is moved from vaults in London to New York. But it gets even wilder than this, everyone. So look at this chart here. We can see here gold is rising and rising rapidly and is just about to hit that $3,000 per troy ounce. So why is gold being sent from London to New York? Well, under normal circumstances, bullion prices in New York and London, two key trading hubs, move in near lockstep. But gold futures on the New York's COMEX has been trading significantly above the spot price in London, with a gap topping $50 per troy ounce this year. So this huge price differential has created a lucrative arbitrage opportunity for dealers, traders, and investors. So there's been a worldwide dash among those in possession of physical metal to shift it to the US to capture the large premium and potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in profit. And we can see in this chart here, the premium for gold in New York over London remains elevated. So anyone, if you got a private jet can go pick up some gold for me from London, let me know. Now, this is how things really work with these gold bullion vaults. The city sees gold change hands in commercial vaults run by dealers such as JP Morgan Chase & Co. and HSBC. The Bank of England also holds a large stash in 9 heavily fortified vaults and keeps those deposits on behalf of the UK Treasury, other central banks and commercial banks as well. Now, the Bank of England is often considered the last resort to tap for the physical market, and holders there rarely shift their bullion as it is a relatively cheaper storage option and has long proven its security. But what many people are also asking, is it all really there? However, because of the urgency to get ahead of any Trump tariffs that may hit the yellow metal, both the commercial vaults and the Bank of England have been drawn upon. And get this, the Bank of England saw its biggest gold outflows since 2012 in January. So like I said, people want it. They don't want to play musical chairs with physical gold and be the person standing with nothing in their hand. Okay, we know people really want their gold and they're saying this is due to Donald Trump's tariff threats, but is that really what's happening and really what's behind this price rally? Well, the metal's blistering price rally since the start of 2024 was partly driven by huge purchases by central banks, which I covered on the channel, particularly in emerging markets as they seek to reduce their dependency on the US dollar. Now, central banks' appetite for gold has been building since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and underscored how foreign currency assets are vulnerable to sanctions, and the US and its allies froze the funds of the Russian central bank held in their countries. So just have a look at this chart, it'll blow your mind on how much gold these central banks are buying. So look at this chart here, everyone. We can see here a lot of countries, their central banks are massively increasing their purchases. And the biggest one was actually Poland, increasing it by 89%. Especially they're very worried about, potentially getting involved with a conflict with Russia. But we have India and China, two massive economies, emerging market economies that are massively increasing their gold reserves, with India up 72% and China 44%. We can also see here another chart here, gold and silver stocks surge in New York warehouse. So you can see COMEX inventories are 40 million ounces, and COMEX silver inventories up to 400,000 ounces of silver. So everyone, make no mistake, we're about to see a massive increase in gold and silver. But what history has shown us, what happens after we see a massive rally in gold and silver, is then other commodities start to boom as well. And something that's on my radar next is copper. And as Donald Trump just did this executive order for cryptocurrency, he's now going to do it with drill baby drill, and he's about to do it for mining for essential mineral and resources as well. That's why he's trying so hard to get a resource deal with Zelensky. Now, Trump has already slapped tariffs on aluminium and steel and promised copper is next from the USGS Mineral Commodity Summaries 2025 Copper's Entry States. Copper is a crucial mineral due to its essential application in energy infrastructure and defense, with US production of 1.2 million tons offset by significant imports, highlighting supply chain risks. So on February 14th, Executive Order 14213 was issued by Trump's administration National Energy Dominance Council. This directive implicitly prioritizes copper as a critical resource because of its pivotal role in national energy security and economic strategy. Now, given that China consumes 57% of the world's copper, the executive order emphasizes the urgent need for the United States to enhance its domestic copper production. And that's why I'm proud to work with today's video sponsor, that's Giant Mining, stock ticker symbol BFGFF. Because not only does it own and operate a copper, silver, gold project in Nevada, but it also recorded its best ever drill intercepts in September 2024. Now, Nevada, where Giant Mining Copper's project is situated, constantly ranked among the top mining jurisdictions in the world, and which is why I'm bringing this company to your attention. Giant Mining's treasury is now fully funded for its drilling programs in 2025, and Giant Mining is well positioned to accelerate its exploration efforts and potentially capitalize on emerging copper market opportunities, and this is great news in my view. Giant Mining owns the Majuba Hill Copper Project, a past producing mine. In the past 4 years, management and the company's geologists have actually expanded the copper deposit, and this past December, Giant Mining hit their best ever drill hole. Now, BHP and Rio Tinto, two of the largest copper producers in the world, are warning that the copper supply cannot possibly meet the future demand from artificial intelligence and the construction renaissance in the US and China. And Goldman Sachs warns of a deficit deepening in 2025 to 2027, with prices potentially hitting $15,000 per ton. BMI predicts a looming supply deficit driving long-term price gains. Meanwhile, the share price of Giant Mining, that stock ticker symbol BFGFF, whose flagship copper silver gold project in Nevada called Majuba Hill has depreciated from its peak of $4.20 on January 13th, 2023 to only 27 cents today. That's USD, more than 90% lower. But since Trump's election victory on November 5th, the share price has doubled already. Historic underground mines at Majuba Hill project produced copper, tin, and silver from the early 1900s to the 1950s, including 2.8 million pounds of copper, 184 ounces of silver, 5,800 ounces of gold, and 21,000 pounds of tin. So I'll say this again, all these factors and the following ones below are the ones that led to my significant bullish opinion about Giant Mining. So the infrastructures are ready. They have access roads, power supply, transportation, water supply, ore stockpiles, and processing space and a processing plant. Now, Giant Mining just hit their highest grade hole to date, from surface down to 218 feet, surface high grade at Majuba with 74 feet of 2.6% copper and 30.1 grams per ton silver within 218 feet of 1.35% copper and 73.5 grams per ton silver. Therefore, when I can find the following pro-business administration, new mineral legislation to include copper as critical, the looming supply shortage, and the fact that Giant Mining share price is up 100% since Trump's inauguration, I am very, very positive on Giant Mining. The company's CEO David Greenway has said the company is fully funded for an active year of exploration and development drilling at Majuba Hill, and the entire Giant Mining team has high hopes of making 2025 Giant Mining's most exciting year yet. So start doing your due diligence and your research on Giant Mining. Again, that stock ticker symbol BFGGF today. Now, for my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.